Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm so excited to show you something really special. I've picked out this gorgeous golden ochre fabric. Isn't the color just stunning? It has such a warm, earthy feel. I've already popped it into my 8-inch wooden hoop, so it's nice and tight, almost like a drum. Now don't be nervous, but we're actually going to start by breaking the fabric. I'm taking my needle, picking up one horizontal thread and giving it a little snip. It feels a bit scary the first time you do it, but trust me, the result is worth it. Once that first thread is out, the others follow much more easily. I'm pulling out 4 threads in total to create a little road across my fabric. I'm using a medium weight linen, which is perfect because the threads are thick enough to count easily. If you use a fabric with a very high thread count, like a fine cotton, the threads will be tiny and you might need to pull out 6 or 8 threads instead of the 4 I'm pulling today to see the same effect. Now if the threads are being a bit stubborn or you find it tricky with just a needle, you can also use a thread remover. It's super handy for getting under those fibers without straining your eyes too much. Just use whatever tool feels most comfortable in your hand. To keep things symmetrical, I'm leaving a gap of about 10 vertical threads. That's roughly 5 millimeters on this weave. And then I'll pull out another 4 parallel to the first row. See those vertical pillars we've left behind? That's our canvas. I've repeated this 5 times because I want to show you 5 different ways to play with this space. For our first look, I'm using an off-white embroidery floss. I've split it down to 3 strands so it's delicate but still strong. I'm using a blunt tapestry needle so I don't accidentally split those vertical threads we just worked so hard to uncover. Starting from the left, I'm going in with a herringbone stitch. Here's the trick. I'm counting exactly 4 vertical threads every time. I'll stitch from right to left on the top line, then hop down and do the same on the bottom. If you find it hard to count the threads, try placing a piece of dark paper or cardstock behind your hoop. The vertical threads will pop out against the dark background, making them much easier to see. Do you see how those little X shapes are forming? And look at the edges, see those tiny rounded holes appearing? That happens because we're gently bundling the fabric threads together. It gives it such a professional, high-end lace look. Imagine this stitch running down the sleeve of a linen summer dress or along the pocket of a button-down shirt. It adds that boutique feel without the expensive price tag. Wasn't that first one just so charming? It's amazing how a simple count can create such an elegant border. But hold on, because the second pattern is where things get really interesting. Okay, let's dive in. I'm starting from the left again. I'll bring my needle up right in the center of that gap we made earlier. Now count 4 vertical threads to the right on the top line, and then bring your needle back exactly where you first came up. See that? It creates this tiny perfect V shape. It almost looks like a little heart resting on its side. I'm just going to keep repeating that all the way to the right edge. It's so meditative. Up in the center, count 4, stitch the top, and back to center. Already you can see those little decorative holes opening up along the top edge of the fabric. It's starting to look so professional. Once you reach the end, don't break your thread. Just secure it neatly on the back and bring the needle back to the far left to start the second row. This time we're doing the exact same thing, but in the opposite direction on the bottom line. Watch what happens as I mirror those V shapes. They meet in the middle to form a perfect X. By the time I'm done, we have this gorgeous diamond-like lattice running right through the center. Drawn thread work is one of those projects where the back should look almost as neat as the front. I like to weave my thread under the existing stitches for about ½ inch before I knot it off. It keeps everything flat and smooth. Imagine this running along the edge of a crisp white pillowcase. Moving right along to our third pattern. This one is a little different from the first two. Start by coming up in the same center position as before. This time we're creating slanted lines. Go up to the top line and slant your needle to the right, then come up on the bottom line. Here's the rhythm. Count 4 threads forward on the top. Go back in and then count 4 threads forward on the bottom. We're essentially making parallel leaning lines across the gap. It's almost like a row of tilted dominoes. Just keep that 4 thread count consistent so your slants are all perfectly parallel. Once you reach the right side, tuck your thread away in the back. Now let's go back to the left and do the exact same thing, but in the opposite direction. As you cross over those first lines, you'll see these perfect X shapes starting to appear. Since we already have our first row down, it's even easier to count your 4 threads now. Those X legs should be exactly 4 threads apart. Look how neat that looks already. Here is where the magic happens. We're going to connect all these crosses without even cutting our thread. Come up at the top of an X, then weave down through the next, alternating top and bottom as you go. It's going to look like a series of interconnected diamonds by the time we're finished, but we'll build it in 2 simple layers. It's such a clever way to fill that gap. When you reach the left and then come back to the right to finish the pattern, those X shapes transform into a row of beautiful, sharp diamonds. It's so simple, yet it looks so intricate on the fabric. It's a completely different look from our first 2, don't you think? If you're into fabric journaling or making your own book covers, this stitch looks like a classic library lattice. It adds such a high-end feel. We're on to our 4th pattern, and this one is all about rhythm. We're going to use the chevron stitch. Starting from the left again, we'll work our way to the right. To make a chevron, you're basically making a little horizontal cap and then a diagonal bridge. I'm taking a small stitch over 2 vertical threads on the bottom line. Then I'll slant my needle up to the top line and take another small horizontal stitch over the next 2 vertical threads. By jumping over those 4 threads, we create a beautiful, tall, slanted line. Once you're at the top, take another small stitch over 2 threads, then head back down to the bottom, skipping 4 threads again. See how it creates that zigzag or mountain peak? Just keep alternating down to the bottom, small stitch, up to the top, small stitch. It's so neat and tidy. Once you hit the right edge, go ahead and secure your thread at the back. Now let's make it even better. We're going to start again from the left, but this time we're doing an opposite chevron. Wherever our first line went up, this one will go down. We're essentially filling in those empty triangles we left behind. As you work across, these 2 rows of chevrons will meet and overlap, creating this amazing textured look that completely fills the gap. I love this 4th pattern specifically for garment finishing because the double chevron creates such a strong braided texture. It's the perfect decorative touch for the cuff of a sleeve or the waistline of a linen dress. We have reached our fifth and final pattern. To wrap things up, I've chosen the Van Dyke stitch. Unlike the others where we worked side to side, we are going to work this one from top to bottom. I'll start with a small foundation stitch at the top. Now the secret is the alternating rhythm. I'm going to take a stitch on the left, then cross over to the right, and then this is the magic part. I'll loop my needle behind that previous crossing point before going back down. As I repeat this, a beautiful spine or braid starts to form right in the middle of our drawn thread gap. It creates such a rich embossed look on the ochre fabric. It's elegant, it's sturdy, and it's the perfect way to finish our 5-stitch showcase. This one is a bit of a celebrity in the embroidery world because it creates this gorgeous braided texture right down the center. It looks much more complicated than it actually is. And there we have it. 5 completely different looks using the exact same foundation of drawn threads. From the delicate X shapes of the herringbone to the textured braid of the Van Dyke, it's amazing how much variety you can create with just a bit of counting and a needle. I hope this tutorial gives you the confidence to try drawn thread work on your next sewing project. Whether you're upgrading a simple dress or creating a handmade heirloom, these stitches add that extra something that makes a project truly special. We used off-white today for that classic look, but don't be afraid to try silk threads for a high shine finish or pearl cotton for even more texture.